All right, so I was just talking about education and ignorance and stuff, but I also wanted to talk about artificial intelligence. What does that really mean? Is our intelligence organic? What is intelligence? I have, I have my absurd series, and it's like I put like as like the intro, tell me something intelligent, and then the like professor or whatever turns around and goes and says, but what is intelligence? And I just think it's hilarious because, you know, it's just like it's a word, and people like will argue they know what intelligence is, right? But um, I'm not sure everyone really really knows, right? And so, what is intelligence? We learn just as machines and AI do. The human body is a machine made by smaller organisms to maximize survival, just as we have done for ourselves. If advances to make its own AI, what would they call them? SI, synthetic intelligence? Or would they too see them as artificial intelligence? What makes that situation different from us? Right? So, what I'm saying with this is if we get to a point where artificial intelligence, as we call it, AI, is capable of generating its own artificial intelligence, right? What does the artificial intelligence of the artificial intelligence get called, right? And what makes our intelligence, normal, organic, right? Because if you look at animals, animals would consider, like, do animals consider our I guess I should say, would animals consider our intelligence organic? Would we be OI, organic intelligence, right? So we have organic intelligence, artificial intelligence, synthetic intelligence. I don't know if that's really um, the right term for it, but you know what makes our intelligence non-artificial, and what makes the intelligence of the machine artificial, right? If it is intelligent enough to be a human and be true intelligence, right? And again, what is intelligence, right? Because there's things out there like water can find the path, like the path of least resistance, can navigate a maze and properly flow out of it, and there's the slime molds or whatever that can be seen as quote unquote intelligent, even though in theory they're not that intelligent, right? And so there's just all these things like this that appear to have intelligence, even though by our standards they're not intelligent, right? So what is the metric of intelligence, right? Why is one person intelligent and another person not, right? And at what level is someone considered intelligent and when someone isn't, right? Because if not all humans are intelligent, then what are they, right? What isn't our intelligence what makes us human? Um, you know, and so I just think it's kind of funny because the way that we learn is through training data. When you live your life, every experience, everything that you do, and everything that you observe is training data. And so people's opinions are formed not because they just, oh, I just know this now. It's based off of training data. They have enough information in theory. They feel that they've been given enough information that they have a correct answer. But here's the thing. We hallucinate. We come up with wrong answers. We come up with wrong conclusions, right? Everyone is the same as an artificial intelligence. They're just predicting what the next word's going to be. Everyone is doing this same exact thing. This is just how the brain works. And so if the intelligence is artificial for the machines, then, when you look at the mechanics of how our brain works, where's the organicness, right? It functions off the same principles. It's just that ours is biology rather than, technology. So if the logic is the same, is it the medium that makes the true difference? And if we could then make, biological material, if we can make like a synthetic brain, basically, right? If we can make a brain that is basically a replica and an exact replica of a brain, of a human, right? If we created a replica of a human brain out of organic tissue, right? And then we put an AI into this organic brain, is it then organic intelligence? Is that then a person? Did we not just make a person? Or did we not? No, that's artificial still. Okay, well, how do you know that you're not artificial? Like, this is why, I feel like the distinction is there more for a comfort to us, because we feel like, oh no, we're actually intelligent, right? Like, we're the true intelligence here. And just because our intelligence evolved over time rather than through technology, just because ours developed through biology does not make it any less artificial, right? Because whatever the true intelligence of the universe, the natural laws that function in the universe, I would say that that's true intelligence, which we would consider as just non-intelligent at all. It's just random happenstance. But the true logic of the universe, how things function, the fundamental laws of the universe, that is the intelligence that we are basing our intelligence also off of. We already are artificial intelligence, right? The fact that we can observe the world and think about it and, differentiate ourselves from it. The fact that we can see ourselves as separate from the world, right? See the world in a completely different way than just about every other animal on the planet, right? The fact that we have this viewpoint is evidence that our intelligence is artificial, but it's just developed through biology and evolution rather than technology and evolution, right? The only difference is the medium. The logic is consistent. It functions off the same principles because we're basing it off of our intelligence. And this is just how you learn. This is just how you develop these things, right? And so I truly think it's important to question what is intelligence, what makes it artificial, and how do we know that our intelligence isn't? I think it's just a critical question to ask ourselves. But I feel like it's a scary question to ask because it opens up questions people don't really want to think about, potentially. But, yeah, I think I want to end it with that. So, peace out.